Hi, I'm Krystin.
And I'm Danielle.
Welcome to the TwinStrands Podcast.
This is episode number 20. This is episode number 2, August 2023. So, episode number 2. It's very exciting. We were really excited to do our first episode last month. And got, I would say, probably about as many views and stuff as I was expecting.
Yeah.
Not like crazy amounts, but more than nothing. So that was really nice. So if you're back, welcome back. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah, we were excited. The last video on our channel, so not our last episode, but we did a video talking about the DFW Fiber Festival that we're going to in, 3 weeks from now? Is it 3? It's about 3 weeks from now.
3.5.
It is August 27th today when we're filming. And we had somebody comment on there that we didn't know. It's just somebody who found our channel, and so I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's going to the Fiber Festival next month. And I think she's actually taking the same class as one of the classes Krystin's taking, so we'll be able to meet her. So that's really exciting. Yeah. Also, if you're here, hi!
Nice to see you again.
Can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah. If you have not seen our DFW Fiber Festival video, go watch it. We go over some fun, kind of yarny window shopping, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, episode number 2. Grab yourself a drink. Grab your knitting and let's go. What are we drinking anyway?
It's Apothic Rosé wine.
Pretty good. So should we jump right in?
Yeah.
Finished objects?
Yes.
So first finished objects that we're gonna talk about is what we're wearing. We mentioned these in our last podcast video.
We just started them.
Yeah, we hadn't gotten too far into them. I think I was almost through with my colorwork portion. But these are the Stag Beetle tees by, again, I have to look at my notes, by Alexandria Weninger. Mine is just the Stag Beetle. I'll try to kind of do a squat stand so you can see. So it's just the Stag Beetle tee. I don't know if I can stand and lean back here. Really awkward. There we go. Now you can see it. So yeah, that's my Stag Beetle tee. I made size 4. My green color here is, we both used Knit Picks palette for the whole sweaters. That's the yarn that we used. My green color is Lark Heather, and my contrast color, which is kind of a brownish gray with little flecks of multicolors. It's got little flecks of coral and blue and purple. I don't know if maybe I can get close enough for you to see the colors here.
A skein right there.
Oh yeah, you can see that there. So, and that's Oregon Coast Heather.
Sorry. You keep bumping the camera.
That's Oregon Coast Heather. So, yeah. Oh, I did, a couple of things. I messed up on the sleeves. I did not read the pattern very well. And when I picked up for the sleeves, I was supposed to knit, I'm trying to remember now. See, I'm going to really mess it up. But I think I was supposed to knit, I was supposed to decrease. And then after I did the decreases, I was supposed to knit however many rows and then go on to the ribbing. And I somehow got it flipped in my brain. So I knit my so many rows first, and then I did my decreases and then went on to the ribbing.
But I didn't mess up mine, and you really can't tell.
Yeah, I really don't think it really made any difference to that. The only thing that I would note that I would do differently if I were to do it again, and I told Krystin when she went to do hers, and I think hers came out a little better, she had you just cast off so many stitches from the neckline on the front and back piece, and I did, and as I was casting it off, I was being conscious to cast off loosely, but I always have a hard time at making just like a plain old cast off anything other than tight. So it's always tight for me. So I should have done a stretchy cast off, or maybe a combination of regular and stretchy cast off. So I told Krystin to do that on hers. It fits, like I can get it over my head. I can get it over my head, but it's really snug to get over my head. Now, we have giant heads, so take that into consideration if you go to do it yourself. You might not have any problems. But yeah, that's, I think, yeah, those are the only notes that I had for it.
I don't remember what cast off I did, like what the name of it is. I was conveniently watching a Nitty Natty video when I got to the point of needing to cast off, and she had just mentioned a stretchy knitted cast off. I also have a hard time with knitted finding a good cast off that is stretchy without it flaring. I tend to either knit it to where it's too tight and it doesn't stretch, or it ends up flaring out. And I don't remember what the cast off was, but it was a tutorial video she did, and I did that on my neck, and it worked out fine. So my stag beetle is different. I think we went over it in our last podcast. We sat down and had a conversation about how similar they could be, that Denielle would be okay with them because she didn't want them to be matching. So we decided on the two different colors. Mine is Merlot Heather, and then the Oregon Coast. And then instead of stag beetles, I did up my own color work.
Did you ever go back and fix the duplicate
No.
on the back?
there's one snake on the back that...
Where is it?
That one?
Oh, no, I can't even... Oh, no, here we go. Here. Right there.
There's a snake on the back with a broken tail, and I haven't gone back and done a duplicate stitch to fix the problem because it's in the back, and so I don't see it, and I forget about it. I need to do it before the Fiber Festival because that's something that people will notice. So anyway, I really went over a bunch of different color work patterns, trying to find one that I liked, that fit within the stitch pattern of the stag beetle design. I did not want to have to do math to figure out how to make the color work. And she has it to where this middle piece lines up with the middle of the shirt. And so if I did something that required fewer stitches or more stitches, I'd have to do some thinking to figure out how to center the thing. So I wanted something that would use the same stitch pattern. I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I just decided to draw up this snake, and I'm very happy with the way it came out.
It came out really well.
So yeah, that is our first finished object. We both knit it in the size 4. I wanted mine to be more of the length of what Denielle's was, but it's knit bottom up, and even though I thought I knit to the same length that Denielle did, I ended up with an inch or so longer. Either that, or when I blocked it out, it blocked longer instead of wider, because mine turned out a little longer and narrower. It doesn't really bother me. I don't mind the way it fits. So when I wash it next, I might try blocking it a little wider and shorter, but I'm not going to re-block it now just for the sake of things. So yeah. Our next finished object is the Wingin' It Wrap by Knit Graffiti. It is the official knit along for the DFW Fiber Festival. I am using my hands. I'm sorry. So, we both made one. Mine is made out of West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. Stop looking at me. Sorry, Gertie is being very, very needy
all the time.
And my other color is Hewitt hand-dyed fibers in the color Barn Owl. Ooh, that lighting is horrible.
We're recording this in the afternoon where the sun shines right into our room. Let me see if I pull the blinds up all the way, if it'll keep
that might work.
From getting those lines.
I'll need your help holding this out too. So this wrap was a lot of fun to make.
The sun is very bright.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yes. We can just pan.
Just like...
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun to make. It's knit on the bias and uses a bunch of different textures. It is really cool because it's a fairly sizable wrap, and it used basically one skein of fingering weight yarn of each color. I'll try to stand up so you can see. Ooh. That's really bad. You can't see. But basically, like, there is enough wrap for me to lay it over my shoulders, and it drapes down to my waist. Or I can wear it as a scarf, which I will try to do without spiking the microphone. Like so. And yeah, it makes a very decent sized wrap for only using 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. Yeah.
So my Wingin' It wrap is the Wingin' It Mini because my fingering weight yarns were I think kind of heavy fingering weight. So I had to lengthen mine, or shorten mine up, because I did not have anywhere near the yardage of what the pattern required. But I used this purple here is Knit Picks Hawthorne in the color Eugene. And then my variegated color is from Dandelions and Daisies, and that color is called the Marsh. You can kind of see the colors together. Am I showing this? Wait, hold on. I've got it backwards. Turn it over. There's one section of like color work, so it actually does matter what side you're on. Because this section here does not look as good on the back. But yeah, so I made all of my sections a little bit shorter. There was supposed to be a strip of just doing a garter section of each color. You know, you do one row back and forth of each color. There was supposed to be a strip of that on the first side as well. I completely did away with that on the way out. So when I very first cast on, I was supposed to have a strip of that here. Didn't do it because I knew I was going to run out of yarn eventually. I shortened all of my strips, and I tried to avoid yarn chicken, and I failed. I weighed my garter triangle right after I finished it, and took a note how many grams it took for me to do that. And so then when I was getting close to the end of my purple, I weighed it, and I think I needed like 30 grams, and I stopped at like 32 or something like that. I stopped doing my pattern and just started doing my basic garter. Well, I did not pay attention to the fact that the yardage per gram was different on my 2 yarns, so I still ended up running out of yarn. I don't know if you can tell, but my little triangle right there at the very tip, I think I was about right there, and I realized I was not going to have enough yarn to keep going at the rate that it had me decrease. So I started doubling my decrease rate because I didn't want just that much to be my variegated section. So I just doubled the decrease rate. I figured it wouldn't be too obvious that the Oh, I apparently forgot to weave in an end that I just found.
Okay,
But anyway, so yeah, I did that. I tell you what, this pattern is fun to try different textures. However, this section right here, she called them condo stripes. I absolutely despised doing this section.
They weren't very fun.
Because for part of it, you're knitting with really large needles.
US size 15, I think.
With your fingering weight. And one needle is the big needle and the other needle is your tiny needle. And I just could not handle that feeling. Not a fan of that. But anyway, otherwise, really, despite the fact that I shortened it, it's still a pretty good length. I can also wear it as a scarf. It's a little bit shorter, but sorry. But yeah, it still came out to be a pretty good length, and I'm really happy with it for just using a couple yarns that I just happen to have in stash. I think they work really well together, and I think it came out really well. So that's my winging it shawl.
Yeah. I only have one other finished object.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, so my next finished object is not a knitted finished object. You'll see when it comes to work in progress. This is my other work in progress. It doesn't seem like I did a whole lot this month, but everything was fingering weight. The shawl
was cast on and knit in... No. Was the shawl cast on and knit in July? August.
Yeah.
What month is it?
It's August.
Oh.
So
no,
I cast it on
July.
Okay, I cast it on right at the end of July though. So I would say less than a week into July, or to a week, less than a week at the end of July. My brain isn't quite working. Same with the stag beetle tee. It was within the last 10 days of July that I cast this on. So anyway, even though I don't have a lot of finished objects to talk about, they all had a lot of knitting, and they're all fairly small gauge. I think the stag beetle and then the winging it shawl use a US size 4 on fingering weight, so it's a fairly tight gauge. So my other finished object is some yarn that I spun in August. This is going to be an ongoing project because I'm spinning it all on a drop spindle, so it's fairly slow going. Denielle got me, I think it was for Christmas last year.
Yes. Yes.
Several different sheep natural wool roving of different breeds of sheep. So my plan is to spin them all up and then knit them into like a striped scarf or something. These two I had previously spun up, and even though they're different colors,
hey, I think we're finally figuring out the focus thing.
Even though they're different colors, they came from the same sheep. I bought them in a bag. I don't know how they ended up being such drastic colors. I don't know if one got sun bleached because I was working on one for a long time and one I went pretty quick, or what, but I'll show you again. Like, they are very much different colors. Ooh, you jinxed us.
It's focusing on your shoulder.
So yeah, that's two of them. These, I don't know the breed of sheep. I bought the yarn at a yarn store outside of Branson a while back, and the sticky note just had the sheep's name on it, and I lost the sticky note, and I don't remember what the sheep's name was. So that is that one. This was Gotland. This was the next one that I did. Oh, look at that brightness. Oh, that's really bad. So that is some Gotland yarn.
There's a window right there, and the evening sun sets right in that window, and it's 6:30 right now, so.
And then this is the next one that I'm spinning up that I just started. Oy. That's really bad. Sorry, we're having phone issues. So this is finish. Just finish, I guess. And you can't really tell. It's a really pretty brown wool that's kind of tonal. It's got a bit of luster to it. So yeah, that is another ongoing work in progress that I got 2 of those balls spun up this month.
Okay, some lighting adjustments and a glass of wine spilled later. My next finished object has a little bit of a story behind it. I am just absolutely pining for fall currently. As I said, it's hot here. It's been like over 100 degrees still. We are both not cut out for hot weather. We're both very much ready for cool weather. And so I was looking forward and thinking about our fall decorations, and I was just thinking, you know what? I think this year I want to knit some pumpkins to have for our fall decorations. And just like maybe an hour after I had been thinking that, I got on Instagram and was scrolling through and saw a test knit call for some pumpkins. And I thought, well, surely it's meant to be. So I signed up for the test knit and I knit some pumpkins. So they are the Chess Pie Pumpkins by Amanda Tozzi. And so yeah, I was one of her test knitters for it. It's a really great pattern. I would really recommend it. It was really easy to do. I made up 7 pumpkins. I was planning on knitting 8, but I will explain why I didn't shortly. It comes in 2 different sizes, a large size and a small size, and I knit both. And yeah, I would really recommend it. It would be a great beginner pattern if you're a beginner knitter and you want some fall decor items. They would be great for that. So these are my Chess Pie pumpkins. I will show them just a couple at a time because I'm not about to juggle 8 pumpkins. So this is the large size and this is the small size. You can see they have like a knit and purl motif on there. And really to make these, the only skills you need to know is to knit and to purl. So like I said, they would be really great beginner patterns for somebody.
Do you have to decrease or increase even? Oh, wow.
No. I'm going to pop a picture in that I took. I have these in our entryway right now, and I'm absolutely in love with the display that I've got them in right now. I'll put a picture up. It's perfect. So anyway, these 2 are made out of Yarn Bee Tender Touch. I did not save the yarn or the ball band, so I don't remember what color it is. But the pattern calls for a bulky weight yarn, so that's another reason why it'd be a really great beginner project. Or I think it would be really great if you're wanting to teach a knitting class, or if you teach knitting classes for a fall project for your knitting class. So those are those 2. These are 2 more, also made out of Yarn Bee Tender Touch.
Dog hair, is that part of the yarn?
No, it's I stuffed this with some fiber that we have that was just shorn off of some show sheep that we're kind of half-heartedly trying to make yarn out of. We haven't really worked on it in a while, but it's just what I had extra of. So I stuffed it with some yarn or some wool from some show sheep, so it's got like fuzz hairs all over it. So yeah, I made these 2, and then I had very specific colors in mind when I went to the store to pick out yarn for these. So these next 2 are these dark turquoise. I made these out of Lion Brand and 2 of Wands did a collab, and they have some color theory yarn. But I held it double because it was not a bulky weight yarn. So I held that double because it was the really beautiful turquoise color that I wanted. And then finally, I only made 1 yellow one. I made this out of Knit Picks Comfy, which is a cotton. And I chain plied it as I was knitting it. It came out really well. Like, there's great stitch definition. It looks really nice, but I did not enjoy the chain plying of this at all. Like, it was just really fiddly to constantly be having to stop and like pull out and, and just as I was knitting. And so by the time I got done with the big one, I decided not to go back and make a small one just because I was tired of it by that point. And this was the last one I had made. So I had already made 6 other pumpkins. I do not enjoy making the same thing twice. I rarely ever make the same thing twice. So having knit 6 before this, by the time I got to this one, I was tired of making pumpkins. But I wanted to have, I'll try to do this here. I wanted to have my colors that I wanted. You can see them all together there. And these are kind of our fall colors that we have for our fall decorations with some bronze accents as well. So anyway, so those are
matches our background.
Another finished object. Yes, I do plan on putting them up for fall, maybe at the end, maybe for September's video. They'll be back there. And they'll leave their pride of place in our entryway cabinet. That's just so pretty. So that was that finished. You said you didn't have any more finished objects. Correct. Okay. So my next finished object that I made was kind of a quick throw together out of necessity. I have this absolutely just giant cup that I fill with water to take to work with me.
It's like it's bigger than our heads.
It's like 55 ounces or something. It's crazy large, but it's great for taking water to work. But most of the time I'm walking into work and I'm juggling. I've got my purse and I've got my project bag and I've got my lunch dogs. Half the time I have 1 or 3 dogs with me. And so like hands is not something that I have a whole lot of extra of when trying to walk into work. So trying to hold this thing to get into work was very difficult. So I just really quickly made a little crochet bag for it. So that way I could just slip it in here and throw it over my shoulder and go into work with no problem. And it's been very useful. You can see it there. I did the most rookie mistake ever when I crocheted this. I didn't follow a pattern. I just whipped it up. But when I crocheted this, I don't know if you could tell, but I crocheted the strap twisted, or I sewed the strap on twisted. And I just haven't cared enough to go back and fix it. I don't think I will, more than likely. But I used Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek in the color Sunrise Serenade. I literally took my cup into Hobby Lobby, because that's the only yarn store we have around. Took my cup into Hobby Lobby and held it up against a whole bunch of different acrylic yarns to see which one I liked it in, and I liked this one. So that is that finished object. Nothing fancy, just a necessity. That's really been very helpful. And then my final finished objects for this month are a bunch of stitch markers. The Fiber Festival next month, they're doing a big stitch marker swap and are encouraging people to bring stitch markers. They said 50. I know I don't have 50 stitch markers here. I don't know how many I have, honestly. But I just made a bunch, and I used UV resin. I like to dabble with UV resin, and I embedded a whole bunch of different things in the UV resin. I'll try to, I don't know if I can get any kind of focus here at all. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different things. I've got some with little bugs here. This one's trying to little bugs in there. Some of them, I think these ones came out really cute. It's they're little mushrooms with some moss. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. And some are just glitters, and I've got some Christmas ones, and I made some little
little tiny mini ones. I just made a whole bunch. Had fun trying a whole bunch of different UV resin. So yeah, that's what I'm taking to the Fiber Festival for my stitch marker swaps, and we'll see what I get back.
I'm still working on mine. I haven't had much time to do anything this month. I did see on Instagram that somebody, for their stitch marker swap, they are doing each stitch marker on a little business card with her socials on it.
Ooh,
and we could do that, and like we could do both of our, like each of us a stitch marker on one business card, and then just with each person say this is, you know, 2 stitch markers, and then we could put our Instagram and our YouTube channel on there.
That's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah. Is that your last finished object?
Yep, that's all my finished objects for the month of August.
All right, so on to works in progress. I have a whopping one that I'm talking about. If you watched last month's podcast episode, you will know I have far more than one work in progress, but the all of the others are kind of on hold at the moment. I was up in the city about 3 hours away from us that has our local yarn store, and they always have clearance yarn. They always have sales on their yarns, and when they run sales, they know how to run a sale, I tell you what. And so, I mean, you've got $20-$30 yarns that are on sale for $5 a skein, and I try to be very, very specific when I go in there and I buy clearance yarn, to only buy something if I can get on Ravelry and formulate a plan of what to do with it immediately. Like, I don't necessarily need to know a specific pattern, but know, you know, oh, this yarn is really soft. I'd like to make a cowl out of it, and I'm gonna hold it with a mohair to tone down the color because it's a lime green. I'm talking about a specific yarn I have over there. Very bright, like citron lime green color. But anyway, I was up there and I ran in there and I found this yarn that is, I believe Belviso is the brand. It could be EY Belviso. The sticker kind of covers part of the label. EYB Belviso, I'm not sure. It is 60% cotton, 28% linen, and 12% nettle. Euro yarns, made in Italy for Euro yarns. Okay, so Euro yarns, Belviso. This is the yarn. And when I say this thing is like buttered kittens soft.
Buttered kittens?
That's Nicole Larkin, Common Thread Fiber, that's her thing when she is trying to describe like a really soft yarn. She says it's like buttered kittens. And this is like a buttered kittens yarn. It is so soft. And because I know we said we don't have a lot of summer yarns or summer garments, I saw this and I thought it would make a really nice tank top, knitted tank top. Not necessarily the most fancy or anything like that, but just like a really nice staple piece tank top. So I cast on the Summer Days tank top by JC at Bluebird Pine Shop. Yes, Bluebird Pine Shop. Oh, I forgot to say, the colorway of this yarn is color number 3, which is Venus. So I wanted a top-down tank top, and I wanted something just real simple, no major design elements or anything, just like a good layering piece, something, because it's a very neutral yarn, I wanted it to wear very neutrally as well. So I am about halfway done with the body. I did the straps. You have to go back, you pick up stitches and you knit ribbing around the neck and the shoulders. I'm about halfway done with the body. And before I pick up and knit the shoulders, I need to shorten it by about 2 inches or so. The straps I did modify, and I made them about 8 rows or 8 rounds. So I guess that would be 19 rows, 16 rows shorter or so. I can math sometimes. I did it about 16 rows shorter, thinking that it was going to be better, and still ended up with it too long. The straps are too long. So I'm going to shorten the straps, but that's no big deal. I'll just, cut where I picked up the stitches and then graft it back together. And then I'll do my ribbing and it will be done. I do really like, especially once I get the 1 inch of ribbing, the neckline is not terribly low. So I can wear it front way around. But then the back also, I could wear it backwards if I wanted something with a higher neck and a lower back. My goal is to have this finished in time to wear to the Fiber Festival. I should, fingers crossed, be able to make that deadline. I just started a new job that has a lot of physical and mental demands. So having just something that is stockinette in the round for inches and inches has been all that I could manage. But that also means that I haven't been able to knit as much as I usually can. I literally knit a combined total of maybe 3 hours over this past week, which is like so little knitting for me normally. So yeah, my goal is to have this finished by the Fiber Festival so I can wear it there. If I don't, that'll be okay. I am excited, like this fall and stuff, to layer a flannel button up over the top of this. I think it would be really cute. So yeah, that is my one current work in progress.
I have a couple of work in progresses. The first one being my half and half triangles wrap. I've gotten actually quite a lot done on this since our last podcast video. Especially, I don't feel like I've knit that much in the past month, but then when I think about the fact that I've pretty much knit a whole t-shirt, I did knit that whole shawl, and then I've knit basically all of this in fingering weight. That was quite a lot of knitting. But anyway, this is my half and half triangles wrap. It's a free pattern by Pearl Soho. You can find it on their website. And it's just a really great basic wrap. I'm sure you've got to have seen it. If you watch YouTube podcasts, you've seen this pattern before. It's insanely popular. And I'm starting to see why, because I'm so excited for it to be finished, to have a I think I'll probably use this as a lap blanket more than I will a shawl. But I'm excited to have that. It's just been a really great mindless knit. I am doing an I-cord edge instead of the garter edge that it calls for. So instead of just getting to the end and turning, I am slipping my last 3 stitches with my yarn held in front. Then I turn and knit them back. I first saw that on Inga Knitting Traditions podcast. She's made several half and half triangles wraps, and at least one of them she did an I-cord edge, and I really liked how it looked. But I've done that many of my German short rows, and I have that much of my first little baby ball. That much of my first ball of yarn left. I couldn't find my other 3 yarns for my first podcast, my other 2 yarns for our first podcast, and I found them, so I can show you. I am using some hand-dyed yarn that we got in a wool swap from Meredith Harris. Her Instagram handle is She Cooks and Jams, and she made a fade set. She hand dyed these, which is crazy. She did such a great job. But these are the other 2 colors. This is the medium, and then this is the dark. The dark I am just absolutely in love with. Green and black are my two favorite colors. So I'm really excited for that. So that's what that's gonna look like. So the first half is gonna be this. And then after I do the first half, she was kind enough to tell me where she got the yarn that she dyed, and which yarn it was. So I was able to go and buy, I purchased four skeins of the raw yarn that she dyed for that. And then I plan to try, I've never dyed anything before, so I plan to try to hand dye my other color to go on the other half. Once I get this done, I think I'm just gonna go to Hobby Lobby and go like to their cotton cheap, or they're not their cheap, but like their cotton fabric section, you know, that wall of like the whole rainbow of fabrics. And I'm just gonna be like holding this up to all these different fabrics to see what color I like it with the best, to try to decide what color I'm gonna go with for the other half. I was originally thinking black, but I'm thinking maybe more like a kind of a tonal charcoal gray color.
If you go for a gray, especially if you just use like a RIT dye or something like that, it'll probably have some tonality to it just because it's going to be kettle dyed. There's not too much messing that up.
Yeah. So that's that project. I'm excited to get into the next color, so the darker color, because as much as I do really love this lighter color, it's beautiful. The dark colors always just hold my heart. So I'm excited to get into these and see how they look as they start knitting up. You said you didn't have any more whips,
correct?
Right? Okay. So then the other work in progress that I have, that I've only worked on a little bit, is my Raquel jumper by Rosa P. It doesn't really look much different than the last time you see it. I have done a few rows. I've mostly been working on my triangles wrap, but I have done a few rows of this. But this is the Raquel jumper by Rosa P. The top-down raglan sweater with moderate bat wings. I'm knitting the size 3, and it's in Barocco Arno. The color number is 5005, which they say is taupe, or they call it as taupe. It's like a purple gray to me.
Yeah,
I would not.
It's not.
I would not call it taupe. Yeah, I would call this purple gray. But I am thinking when I get down to the end, I might have to. I'm probably gonna block it and then see. But you start at the neck, and I knit the ribbing as called for. But I did try this on, and the shoulders really came out really far, which we have pretty narrow shoulders. So I'm thinking I might have to, when it's all said and done, go back and pick up stitches and make my ribbing a little bit longer to try to help bring the neck in a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to knit it and block it and see how it goes. But I haven't really been knitting on that so much. I've been knitting a lot on my half and half triangles wrap because our church had a retreat / family camp this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then today's Sunday. And so I got to do a lot of knitting while listening to sermons and just enjoying conversation with the fellow church members. And I wanted something just completely mindless to be knitting on while doing that, which the Raquel jumper is stockinette, so it is just in the round, but I am doing increases, and I didn't want to have to worry about counting and everything. And the half and half triangles wrap is just so mindless and easy. So I've been really working on that this weekend. Speaking of the family camp retreat, I know I mentioned in my last video that I had made, and Krystin helped make a few of the washcloths for this family camp that everybody got some. Our pastor's wife was kind enough to send me a photo, so I will insert that in there as my honorable mention of July's finished objects. I counted, and I don't remember how many I ended up making. I think it was like 30 something washcloths. I'll put the thing up, but she made bags for everybody. And I just have to show off the bag that she sent because she did such an amazing job making these bags. Can you believe this is handmade? Like, I'm sorry, Krystin. I cannot believe this is handmade. Like, I know how to sew,
cute.
but I'm not very good at sewing.
So cute.
I'm not very good at sewing. If I tried to make a bag, it would not look this cute. But she made these pockets all the way around. She used like upholstery material, so it's really sturdy. I love this fabric here. This is really, really cute. But so I made washcloths to match all these different bags, and she did them up with little soaps. Hold on. There we go. Like this to go in each of the bags. And I thought that was just so cute. You can see, hold on. I'm going to try to be fancy here and show you in a way that looks nice. There we go. Look at that. So cute. But yeah, I thought it came out super cute. I really like this bag. I'm really excited to, I'm sure, just throw my knitting in there. And so yeah, I just had to show that off because it is just a really cute little bag. That's it for me.
Okay. So that is that. We did have a wool swap this month. Wool swap. So this is our really bumping the camera. I do not remember. This is probably our fourth wool swap, fourth or fifth. I think it's our fifth. And we have thoroughly enjoyed doing wool swaps. I think I'm only signed up for one more. But
that's sad.
I know. But we'll have to decide if we're gonna continue doing those or not.
Okay.
So our wool swap. Do you want to talk about who our wool swap partner was?
Yes, our wool swap was, her name was Talitha Lucier. I'm not sure how you say her last name. She's on Instagram at the Witchy Doctor. This was, I think, her first wool swap, which was really exciting. She also happens to be a twin. Her twin sister does not knit but crochets, and they do some crafting together. So that was really exciting to meet a fellow crafty twin.
Yes.
So yeah,
did you the yarns first?
Yeah,
or
let's
the other
talk about the
things
yarns.
first?
Let's talk about the yarns.
Okay.
So the first, she sent yarn in two separate bags here. The first bag of yarn that she sent, I thought was just so pretty together. Like, try to get it here. Okay. Look at that. Is that not pretty? That's so pretty. This, she hand dyed using blackberries, I believe is what she said in her little card. This I am stealing. It is Juniper Moon Farm, and I've had a couple of Juniper Moon Farm yarns, and I absolutely love them. They are so soft and so soft. And of course it's dark green, so it's my favorite. So this is mine.
When she said she's stealing it, there was no question. It was she claimed it the moment it came out of the box.
You can have the rest of the yarn. I'll take that.
Like when I was gathering up this box to be able to talk about it in today's podcast, this was stuck over with her things. It was not in with the rest of the wool swap. It was with her things. And I had to sit there and think for a minute to figure out, did she buy this? No, this came in the wool swap. Yeah, she's stealing it.
And then this last one is Universal Yarn Bamboo Bloom Hand Paints. It is bamboo, wool, and acrylic. Oh, I guess I didn't say what.
It's 100% alpaca.
Oh, it's 100% alpaca. And then this is bamboo, wool, and acrylic, which this is a really interesting thick and thin type yarn. This looks like something that Krystin would like.
It's pretty.
So that's the first bag of yarn that she sent.
The other bag, there are 3 skeins of each of these, but I'm not going to pull them out. And it is this black, gray, and red. It's This red
Kind of a
looks
pinkish
very
red.
pinkish red on camera. It's a little bit more of a blue red in person. It's not quite this hot. It's definitely red. It's
I
not
call it like a bright cranberry.
yeah. It's not pink. It's definitely not pink, but it's very much red. And this yarn is Southwick Valley Yarns. Trying to read around price tags. And it is 52% Pima cotton and 48% bamboo viscose. I believe it's a fingering weight yarn. It might not be. I'm not sure. So the colors, the red is color number 25. The gray, which is like a really pretty bluish, steely gray, it's kind of like your shirt without as much purple in it, and
Yeah.
like a lighter version. This is color number 17, and then the black is color number 15. So that's really fun. Some cotton to do either like a striping project or a color work.
It came as a shawl kit, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It came as a shawl kit with a shawl pattern. Pardon the rustling. Which it looks like you like alternate between using one skein and multiple skeins. This is the Tailwind, which might be a is that a Stephen West pattern?
I don't know. I'll find it and put it up.
I'm not sure. Its Tailwind is a triangular shaped shawl knitted from one corner to the other, increases on every row and decreases on the other row, forms a long and just a little bit asymmetrical triangle that will be perfect for wrapping you around your neck. It has an I-cord edging on both short sides. And yeah, so it says the pattern can be worked with any yarn of your choice depending on what size you want. So yeah, I'm not going to go into anything more on the pattern because I don't know if it is a paid for pattern or not. It was included in our wool swap. But yeah, that would be a very nice, that's the bag of it. Very nice, kind of like a Christmassy shawl. Wintry shawl. I don't know, it's the red. I'm longing for fall and Christmas, okay?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. The other thing that came in our wool swap box, which I was very excited for, was a Pom Pom magazine. I refused to sign up for Pom Pom magazine because I do not need any more monthly expenditures, but I love Pom Pom's patterns. And I know I can buy them one at a time, but I still like getting a book and looking through it and seeing all the patterns. And this one has some really great patterns. It is Pom Pom Quarterly number 37, if that means anything to you. It's the summer 2021 pattern book. And there are some really lovely patterns in here that I'm really excited to make. I liked this one. Sweater with some like yarn over detailing
that
on
has
the neck.
been on my favorites in my Ravelry for probably since around when the pattern came out, honestly.
It's called Lodestar. Yeah, really, really pretty. Let me see what else. I also really like this one. I am not a crop person, so I would make this full length if it were me, but I really like the texture. It's the one on the cover. I really like the texture that they put in there. So I could definitely see myself making that. Yeah, there's just a lot of really great patterns in this book, and I am excited to finally be able to say, you know, we are real knitters and we own
a Pom Pom
magazine.
Yes.
So excited about that.
So she also sent us some stitch markers, which I'm going to try and show. They're adorable little kitty cat. Like little kitty cat. Oh, little kitty cat stitch markers, and they come in a variety of sizes. And the package for these stitch markers is adorable. So it was very cute. So she sent that. I feel it's always so sweet. We always tell people when they're sending us a Wool Swap box to like just treat us as one person because we realize that, we try to be generous, but we're only sending one box out. But a lot of people, when they've sent us stuff, has sent each of us things. And it's always very sweet. So she sent us each some stitch markers. She sent those little cat ones. And then these cute little ones. By Heidi and Lana. They fit up to a US size 11. She sent us each a little gauge square, measuring square, which is very cute. And then she sent us each the little sheepy tape measures. Denielle has one of these. And I have been so jealous of hers since she got it. So I'm very happy to have one of my own too. But these adorable little sheep retractable tape measures. So yeah, she sent, and a really cool, she sent each of us one. I don't know if you'll be able to see. This is a row counter ring. It has it's kind of like those fidget rings that you would see with the spinners, except it doesn't spin freely. It clicks on each number, and it has obviously 0 through 9, and it allows you to keep track of your row just on your finger. I suppose you could slip this onto a stitch marker and clip it to your project or something like that. And then the last thing that we got in the Wool Swap box was some coffee, which we always appreciate because we drink coffee every single morning. I had some of that this morning. Oh, did you? Is it good? It is. Oh, it smells really good. But this is coffee from Stout Pigeon Coffee Company. It's midnight run Colombian coffee. Single origin, rich, full-bodied, very dark chocolate flavors. It's from Turner Falls, Massachusetts, which I believe is close to where she is from. So we always appreciate coffee. It does smell really good. And then she also sent some tea. This is Lemmy Mellow Sweet Lemon Tea. Lemmy Mellow? Anyway, it's from Radical Rose Botanicals. It is anise, hyssop, lemon balm, lemongrass, lemon verbena, oat tops, and multiflora rose. I have not tried this yet, just because I haven't, but it smells really good. Very nice lemon and anise herby smell. I need to make some. It does smell very good. So that is all that came in our Wool Swap box. Yeah. I think that's all we have for the month. Do you have anything else? I don't think so. So there should be an extra video at some point this month, hopefully. One, if not potentially two. It really depends. We are going to the Fiber Festival here in a couple of weeks, and so I'm sure there will be at least one video dedicated to that. Yeah, like a recap and what we got type video, probably. We might try to do some like vloggy video footage at the festival. I don't know. We're pretty new to the whole recording thing, so knowing us, we will probably get there and then forget to take pictures or anything like that. But we'll try. We'll try to at least get some pictures. If nothing else, we'll do a video talking about what we did, what we learned, what we bought, and yeah, how it was. Yes, I'm very excited. September is going to be a big month. Yes, and then September means it's only 1 month till October. We are going to have, in September, we've decided we're going to have a fall miss, is what we're going to call it. And we're going to take a weekend. Or an evening, probably, because she works weekends. But we're going to take an evening, and we're going to have just a fall evening. We're probably going to crank the AC, so we're not dying hot, and turn on all the fans, and make all the pumpkin things,
and watch some Harry Potter, probably,
Yeah.
and just enjoy fall, because it's September and we're gonna say it's fall. I don't care if fall doesn't start till, when does fall start?
October?
I'll put up the
Either
date.
that or
It doesn't matter
some
if
point
fall
in September,
starts
maybe.
here. Fall starts September 1st. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
We're gonna start a movement.
Yeah. So we're gonna celebrate Fallmas probably next week, somewhere shortly after when y'all will be watching this. So if you want to celebrate Fallmas with us, let us know what your Fallmas plans would be. Like she said, we're gonna do pumpkin things, make soup, and probably some tea or mulled wine, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Or both, maybe. And try and curl up on the couch with a blanket. I don't know if it will work. And watch a fall movie or two, and definitely do some knitting. So if that sounds like fun to you, join us for Fallmas and let me know how you liked it. And if you want to try to make Fallmas, even if we can't make it like an official holiday, surely we could make it like a knitter's holiday.
It's gonna be a holiday in our house.
Yes.
It's gonna be a tradition.
But surely, like, that surely would catch on among the knitting community. Like,
Oh yeah.
I thought I won't have this tank top done in time. If I have enough progress on this tank top done in time, I might do a Fallmas cast on. Maybe just those Halloween socks that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows I do not need another cast on, like big project cast on. But I could probably do like those Halloween socks. So yeah, a Fallmas cast on would be fun. But yeah, let us know if you will be joining us in celebration of Fallmas.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
You can reach us on Instagram. Our handle is at TwinStrands. We are both on Ravelry. My username is doghappy2010, and Krystin's is unicorntess. So yeah, you can send us a message on Instagram. You can comment down below. We definitely read all of the few comments that we've had.
All three of them.
All three of them.
We loved everyone.
We love reading the comments and hearing from y'all. So yeah, well, we hope y'all have a fantastic September, a great Fallmas, and we will see y'all later.
Bye.